Is the very landscape of the American presidency being fundamentally rewritten before our eyes? President Trump is reportedly moving forward with plans that could permanently change the look and utility of the White House lawn, and the debate over whether this is progress or a total overstep is already heating up. Before we continue, if you want to stay on top of everything happening in U.S. politics, hit that subscribe button right now and leave a like. It really helps this channel grow and keeps us bringing you the latest updates on these critical stories. The news broke earlier today that the White House is considering the installation of a permanent helipad for Marine One. Now, on the surface, this might sound like a minor logistical update, but the implications go far beyond just a landing pad. According to reports, the powerful engines on the newer helicopters used by the president are causing significant wear and tear on the South Lawn's grass. A permanent helipad would solve that maintenance issue, but it also signals a shift in how the grounds are utilized. White House spokesman Davis Ingle has defended the move, stating that President Trump is dedicated to making improvements to the residents and the surrounding D.C. area for the benefit of future presidents and the American people. However, the details on who would be footing the bill for this potentially expensive addition remain entirely under wraps. This is not happening in a vacuum. We are talking about a series of projects that have collectively pushed the boundaries of what most people expect from an executive mansion. Look at the recent installation of the polished black granite flooring along the Presidential Walk of Fame in the West Wing colonnade. Look at the massive, ongoing construction of the White House ballroom, a project that gained renewed urgency after security concerns were raised following the shooting near the White House Correspondents' Association dinner earlier this year. Even the Rose Garden, once considered a pristine and untouchable sanctuary, was overhauled last year with stone pavers to better accommodate media events, a move that earned it the nickname the Rose Garden Club. But perhaps most ambitious is the proposal for a 250-foot triumphal arch that would sit near the Lincoln Memorial. We are talking about gold eagles, lions, and a winged Lady Liberty design that would permanently alter the skyline of the nation's capital. When you combine all these projects, you see a clear, bold vision for the White House as a monument to current executive power. This raises some very pointed questions about the intersection of history and politics. On one side, supporters view these changes as necessary modernization. They argue that the White House should reflect the strength and stature of the modern presidency, and that previous administrations have also left their mark, from Taft creating the first Oval Office to FDR adding the East Wing. They see it as a legacy project that enhances functionality for the 21st century. On the flip side, however, you have a growing coalition of preservationists and political opponents who are sounding the alarm. They argue that the White House is a national treasure and that these constant, aggressive construction projects are disrupting its historical integrity. There is a concern that we are moving away from the traditional, understated elegance of the residence and towards something much more monumental and, quite frankly, controversial. The question of funding is also looming large. In an era of intense political scrutiny over government spending, any large-scale infrastructure project attached to the White House is going to face a massive magnifying glass. Are we talking about tax dollars? Private donations? Who gets the final say on the aesthetics of the most famous house in the world? This is about more than just grass and granite. It is about who owns the narrative of the American story. When an administration chooses to build an arch or install a permanent helipad, they are telling the world and future generations what they value. It is a bold statement, and it is clearly designed to be permanent. Whether you see this as an essential upgrade or an unnecessary intrusion into history, the reality is that the White House is being reshaped in real time. So, I want to know what you think about this. Do you believe President Trump is rightfully modernizing the White House, or do you think he is going too far by permanently altering such a historic landmark? Drop your opinion in the comments below. I read every single one, and I want to hear where you stand on this. The face of Washington, D.C. is changing, and we are going to be right here tracking every step of the construction. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more.